The rebirth of the Prelude was a shock, I think, to just about everyone. When I debuted it for you guys out in Japan, no one was expecting the revival of the Prelude name, and I really wasn't expecting too much from Honda's Coupe. I thought the writing was on the wall that it was going to be a battery electric vehicle, and that's what it was teased as, a specialty sports car next to the next-gen NSX, which is surely going to be fully battery electric. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Prelude. There's more information coming out of Japan, so take it with a grain of salt, but there's also a lot of excitement and buzz about the Prelude that I want to bring to you guys as well. Let's get into it. And let me know down below, if you had your choice between this and a Civic Type R, what would you be picking? Are you just wanting that coupe lifestyle once again from the Honda lineup? Let me know down below. And maybe if they would make this an Acura, would be interested in this becoming an Acura as well. But I want to talk about some of the stuff being passed around. And I want to generate some hype for this because I was just super excited for number one. And number two, it looks like Honda's president is also jazzed for the return of the Honda Coupe and the Prelude. Now, it doesn't look anything like an old Prelude. It looks more like a Prius or something like that with the beaky front end, kind of like the hammerhead design that we see from Toyotas. It looks more like a Toyota, you could say, than any Prelude in the past. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because I think overall, the design on this is absolutely gorgeous. I want to get into what Toshihiro Mibe had to say about it because there's actually quite a bit of excitement here. All right. The Prelude concept will take the joy of driving into the full-fledged electrified future. I have introduced some of the mobility products that embody Honda's dreams, which represent the Honda of today and of the future. But we know our customers are expecting one more thing from Honda, and that is sports models. And I'll add, people want more coupes from Honda. I think there's a huge demand for that, but let's get back into it. At the Automobile Electrification Business Briefing we held last year, I talked about future sports models. Today, to conclude my presentation, I would like to show you one of them, the specialty sports model. I'll put it on the screen for you guys. This specialty sports model doesn't look anything like that model that was shown under wraps. I don't know if that plans have changed, but the one under wraps looked like a rear-wheel drive S2000 sort of successor, and that's what I was expecting. I was expecting an S2000. We got a Prelude instead, front-wheel drive more than likely. He says Honda has always been committed to creating sporty vehicles, and the word Prelude means an introductory or preceding performance. This model will become the prelude for our future models, which will inherit the joy of driving into the full-fledged electrified future and embody Honda's unalterable sports mindset. The Prelude concept is a specialty sports model that will offer exhilarating experience that makes you want to keep going forever and extraordinary excitement you've never felt before. In order to offer the joy of driving only Honda can realize, we are diligently progressing with development. So please keep your expectations high for this model. Okay, so if the president of Honda is saying, we're progressing with development and keep your expectations high, that is essentially as good as gold that this is 100% going to be a production model. I can't be any more excited. And, you know, to be honest, the vehicle felt like a production car. At least on the outside, it looked like production ready. The inside looked like a copy and paste of the Civic, which it probably will be copy and paste from the Civic when it comes to production. And when it comes to production is stuff that I'm starting to hear from Japan. So we're over at response.japan, and let's talk about the new Prelude. Of course, this is not the design. If you want to look at this, this is a render of theirs, but we know that the actual render looks way better than this. But this is fairly close. However, they're expecting maybe the door handles to not be sucked into the side of the door. So yeah, I mean, even this portion right here looks like a throwback to some old Mugen models. But yeah, it's not going to look exactly like this. But let's get back into what they're saying about it because it is very exciting. They're saying it will likely feature a 2+2 seat layout, unlike the S2000, which only has 2 seats. So this will have an unusable back row, kind of like the GR86 and BRZ, for example. So think of this as almost a competitor to them. It's also expected the digital infotainment cluster and integrated display will be installed around the instrument panel, creating a futuristic and high-quality space that is typical of a new era day car. Now, I'm not going to get my expectations from that. I see Honda's current lineup, everything looks the same on their current models. They have a formula that is generally well accepted with the 3 rotary dials. You got a screen in the middle, and then you got a analog or a fully digital setup behind the steering wheel. So I don't see that really changing at all. And then especially with the Civics, you have that grill, either mesh pattern or honeycomb grill for the vents that goes across the dash. I would be okay with that if they just copy and paste it. Some people call that lazy. To me, don't fix what isn't broken. I'm in a BMW right now, an X1, and the climate control and the software in there is hair pulling. So anyways, regarding the powertrain, this is where it gets really exciting. So they are expecting that it will be well, we know it's a hybrid, 100%. Honda has confirmed it is a hybrid, at least the concept is, right? They're saying it's going to combine a 2-liter inline-4 with a motor, and a maximum output could exceed 300 PS. 300 PS is just a little bit more than 300 horsepower. It's probably something like 298 horsepower. The drive system is front engine, front wheel drive. I mean, we're talking about a Honda here. If it wasn't front engine, front wheel drive, the sky would be falling. Unless, we're talking about fully battery electric where they can change things around. And they're saying that there are expectations for manual transmission. So we know Lexus is working on manual transmission battery electric cars through crazy amounts of software. Here, Honda is going back to the CRZ. We had manual transmission with the CRZ, and they're saying that this could be a single motor. So if this is a single motor hybrid, it would be completely different than what we have. We have a 2-motor hybrid right now with Honda hybrid systems. I also think in order to get close to 300 horsepower, you need to have a turbo, even though it's hybrid. So this could be a 2-liter turbo hybrid. How I see it, I think it would be more likely for it to be 1.5-liter turbo hybrid to get 250 horse. So let me know, guys. This is just conjecture and hearsay from Japan. 300 horsepower, I think, is a potential in a Type S or a Type R if it becomes an Integra. And I think around 200 to 220 horsepower is what to expect for the SI or the standard model. So I think they offer 2 different powertrains, in my opinion, maybe 1.5 turbo hybrid and then a 2-liter turbo hybrid. But the thing is, it's really getting really expensive for manufacturers to offer multiple powertrains on their cars because they have to pass all these crazy emission standards, especially in the California and zero emission vehicle states. If you just have one powertrain, that's why like Toyota, for example, they're just hybridizing everything, making it simple. Okay, here's a 2.5-liter hybrid, here's a 2-liter hybrid, and they're just copying and pasting throughout essentially their whole lineup. Like the Camry, the upcoming RAV4 is going to be fully hybrid. The Crowns are fully hybrid. The Sienna is fully hybrid, etc. So Honda, if they offer 2 different powertrains here, we would all love that. We all want choice, but don't get your hopes up too high if it's just one powertrain. Front wheel drive only. This is the opportunity that they could have put an e-axle in the back to give us electric all-wheel drive. Honda has not committed to that technology. I don't know why. They'd rather have a physical drive shaft instead of using e-axle back there for all-wheel drive assist. Now, there are benefits to having a mechanical all-wheel drive. There are also downfalls. It's heavier, and it's going to hurt your fuel economy, and it's going to require more maintenance throughout the years, where an e-axle is lighter, more efficient, doesn't require any maintenance, but it doesn't provide the same level of super handling all-wheel drive or IVTM4 if you're on the Honda side that a traditional mechanical linkage can provide to the all-wheel drive system. We're going to get a front-wheel drive hybrid. That's all we know for sure. Let me know what you want exactly are the powertrains down below. I know I went on a rant on that because the sky's the limit. We have no idea other than it's going to be a 4-cylinder hybrid. So I will see you guys down below, but I think I just wanted to make this video as a little bit of closure to me to tie off some loose ends. This vehicle is going to come. When is it going to come? Yes, here it is, expected in 2025. So we're about a year away from maybe a little bit more that we'll see our first Prelude in over 2 decades. So I can't wait for it to come out. New Honda Coupe. Thank you, Honda, for listening to, I don't know if you are listening or you just felt like making a coupe, but thank you for at least saturating the market for those coupe lovers out there in the enthusiast world. Some new things from Honda. There's the new Prologue driving impressions. I won't be able to go to that. Too much going on in my life. Baby coming down the hatch. Baby boy. We're excited for that. I also have the new Passport coming fairly soon. Hopefully I can get my driving impressions up for embargo, which I think is the 19th on the revised Passport. So thanks guys for watching. Can't wait to see what you have to say about the new coupe from Honda, and I'll catch you in the next one.